Yo, it's your boy Dean.
Tim.
Teran.
We got another episode of Dean's Office. I want to thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We say this a lot. Please do it. Again, we on the road to 100 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, please do so. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Lock in.
And then also, if you watch the video, you can just press like. It's okay to press it.
Oh yeah, too. Like it, man. If you like it, you know what I'm saying. Or even if can we encourage dislike too?
I don't think
we'll take some interaction, right?
Yeah, keep lying to us. Don't dislike anything. Keep on lying.
Okay, don't dislike anything, but we appreciate that. We had a hard weekend. Our teams lost.
Dolphins lost.
All in above.
Everything was lost. Yeah.
And I think what we're gonna talk about today kind of incorporate what we went through as far as on Saturday, Thursday, Saturday, and all that good stuff put together. So just lock in, just get right to it. Ain't nothing to add. Let's go, yo.
World, you're needed in the Dean's office.
So this episode, the Bible, right? It's preached in the Bible. As a good Christian, you're taught to to demonstrate this as much as often, but you often don't see it, right? Mm-hmm. Because the emotion is hard. That's one emotion that's hard to. I want to say it's an emotion to hard to do because sometimes you can't see past it, mm-hmm. and that's forgiveness, mm-hmm. right? In the Bible, they tell you forgive, all that, turn the other cheek, all mm-hmm. that, be a good person, and they'll tell you when you hold on to certain stuff, it hurts you more than the person that you should forgive or be mad at.
Right.
So my question to you is, do we really need to forgive people?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. If you want to answer, because you seem like you're ready.
Oh no. It was just occurring to me in my mind. So, as the family, we know that I'm responsible for the content creator, and one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about forgiveness is I was researching.
You know that?
Oh, well, now y'all know.
Okay.
One of the reasons why we wanted to talk about this was because what astonished me was y'all heard about Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all know what he did, and y'all know that he served a long time in prison.
He got killed. He died.
He died in prison, right? But what I didn't know in prison, what I didn't know was that he gave his life to the Lord.
He did?
Yeah, he became a Christian. He got baptized. He even led Bible study inside prison.
For real?
He was a devoted Christian in prison. In his latter years. So he got locked up in 92. I think he was killed in 94. For those 2 years that he was in. He was
only that short?
Yeah, before they killed him, about 2 or 3 years before he was killed while he was locked up. So what made me start thinking was forgiveness, right? So Christianity teaches everybody should be forgiven, right? So does that exclude Jeffrey Dahmer? Because Jeffrey Dahmer,
he was killing black people.
He was killing black people. He preyed on people and was keeping them, and he was worshiping the devil based on what we know, whatever the case would be, or did rituals that liken to worshiping the devil. So does someone like that deserve forgiveness in terms of, I'm going to give my life to the Lord? So what if you, God forbid, die today, and you wake and you go to Heaven's Gate, and you see Jeffrey Dahmer there?
Oh, so I know we was forgetting it. Can I go off the road just right quick?
Yeah.
Because it popped in my head.
Yeah.
Right? And since you leading up to it, and I'm just going to ask him because he know God better than me.
I don't know about all that, but
You know what I'm saying? So he know God better than me. My question is to both of y'all, what do you think is?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can serial killers can they be Christians? If you once was a serial killer, can you give your life to God and become a Christian, or you forever that? Like, could you?
Now, see, forgiveness is one of the biggest things people, how can I say, try to or deal with, right? According to the Bible, according to us who follow Jesus Christ, we supposed to forgive. Once a person gives their life over to God and say, you know what, Jesus, I accept you as my Lord and Savior, all of your sins and everything has been forgiven, right? This question has been asked before, hey, what if somebody gave their life or turned their life over to God right before they passed away? And a lot of them do that right when they used to do the death penalty. Hey, you know, I'm going to give my life over to God, whatever. Does that mean, according to the Bible and the stuff that we listen to, yes, that person will be forgiven. Jesus will forgive their sins or everything, regardless if they're a serial killer or rapist or whatnot.
So you
Once
believe?
they do that.
So you believe Jeffrey Dahmer is in heaven right now?
I believe if it's true that he turned over his life and became a Christian and turned over his life to become God, I believe yes, he's did with everybody else who they turned their life over.
So my question is, at what point, right? Again, I'm just asking a question. At what point do we challenge certain things that the Bible or Christianity express to us? And I don't necessarily mean Christianity, this everything with Allah, whatever religion you subscribe to or you listen to. I mean that you follow. My question, like, what common sense to you is, or what makes sense to you compared to what you read or what you're being taught, right? So, like what you said, if I was a savage my whole life, and then now when they get ready to kill me, 30 minutes before they kill me, I give myself to the Lord, right? We supposed to accept that? Okay, now he's a Christian,
but
but
it's not up to us. It's not up to us to accept.
Right.
The biggest thing what people don't get is because you forgive. I'm sorry, because you forgive somebody, right? Does that make me mean or accept everything they did? No, you're not. You're forgiving them because that's what was asked of us to do in the Bible. Because hey, we're supposed to forgive your brothers and your sisters for everything all they do. God is going to forgive you those things because you asked him for forgiveness, right? That's the hardest part for us to get over. But the biggest thing for us is, but I know what you did.
Yeah, but I know what Tavares is saying. So Tavares is saying, can you cheat the Bible? So what he's saying is, can you cheat that rule? And my answer to that is, I think although it's been presented to us that you are a born again Christian,
This was in your heart.
the Lord knows your heart.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you're doing this front, reading the Bible every day like me, or if like those type of things.
Don't read the Bible, but okay.
Like if you're doing those type of things, the Lord's gonna really know who you are.
Yeah.
So he really know who Jeffrey Dahmer is. So Jeffrey Dahmer, if he was trying to
Manipulate the system. Yeah.
for 2 years and say, let me go to devotion or whatever, because I know I'm a dying here. Let me try to get myself right with the Lord. If it wasn't really meaningful within, I think the Lord will see that, and then the Lord will judge him justly. And adversely to that, if he did mean it, if he was, I had 10 years worth of a mental lapse. When I got in here, being in solitude, I understood, because they said when he got in there, he was in solitude, but he requested to be with the general population after a while. After a while, he's like, I don't want to be in protective whatever, because they knew once he got into the protective whatever.
No,
if he's out of
once he's in gen pop, people were gonna try to kill him because of what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they obviously prison got their own justice system, but that's what I'm saying. So I think it's really pretty much what's in your heart. So I just brought that up just to kind of it's an interesting.
So
question.
because again I'm asking questions. Is that fair though? Like if you pull up in heaven, right, and you go to you and you see the Lord chilling over there, and you like, hey, you tell his bodyguards, can I speak to the Lord right quick, to Jesus, or can I talk to him for a second, right? And you pull up to him and say, hey, Jesus, I don't think that's fair that this man was doing dirt for 19 years or 30 years, you know what I'm saying? And then the last hour, his heart was pure. You saw his heart was pure. You seen that, I trust your judgment that he really was trying to change his life. But I don't think that's fair. He at least got to do 10 years in hell and then bring him up. Like, it has to be it got to be some repercussion, bro. You can't just be in heaven with me. And I spent my whole 30 years, 35 years doing the right thing. This man was doing the wrong thing for 30-something years. Then the last 3 days of his life, he felt like boom, and the Lord said, yeah, I see his heart is pure. And you let this man chill with me, he have to at least do 10 years, at least 5, 7, okay, we'll meet in the middle. 6 years. He can't do 6 years in hell and then bring him?
So if those type of thoughts are crossing your mind, you may want to continue reading the Bible, because those are not the type of people
that's going to heaven.
That I would think God wanted his kingdom, based on the way that Jesus presented himself. Because Jesus, to me, from my daily readings, was someone who really was around people who he didn't see a social class. He didn't see.
To add to it, he was around the people other people don't want to go to.
Right.
Like one of his disciples was actually the tax collector, and people didn't want to go tax collector because they were taking everything from him.
Right.
He sat down and ate with that person.
Right.
And everybody was like, "Oh man, what kind of this would?" So regardless, when he came here, just like that we said before in the other podcast, when he came here for everybody, and it specifically says, if once you believe in him and follow all his rules, you're forgiven. Your sins are forgiven. We can't keep focusing on the past. From here on out, that's the way we have to go.
I mean, like the kid said, it got to be some type of get back, bro. Like if you a tax collector, I get you, but eating people, that's a hard forgiveness. To come behind, like and I think and seeing I think that's something that people who look at Christianity or look at God or whoever they believe in and so forth, when they look at that, it's like, bruh, like that's not fair.
And not only they also look at it as us being soft, right? Christianity part, because once again, even though when it comes down to it, we're supposed to forgive people regardless, because God forgave a lot of the stuff that we did, right? Think about some of the stuff that we did that we could have been locked up for, right? Some of the stuff and we got past God forgive us because, hey, okay, we saw a different path.
But we ain't eat nobody, Timmy.
Dog, eating somebody, kill somebody, all this other stuff.
They say there's no levels to sin. A lie is a lie.
Exactly.
And
so
murder is a murderer.
When he start, that's what I'm saying. When he start thinking about it,
that's another thing. See, that's another thing. I challenge too. You trying to tell me there's no? Yeah, I know society put the tab on it, but like with humans, right? There's still a instinct, basic instinct within the human. Like, cause we're animals, we're still high functioning animals. So it's the instinct telling you lying to me and you raping me. It can't be the same thing. I can't. I don't need a law book. So I know they say that's the law. I don't need the law to tell me you lying to me and you raping me. It's two different things.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think that's why it's a good question. And if that was the case, if that was not the case, then we would be in trouble, given that Jesus came to wipe away everybody's sins, right? So if all sins weren't the same, that means Jesus only came here to save certain people, and he didn't come here to save everybody. No, that's what I'm saying.
Not as
he should.
But yes, bro, you don't deserve to be saved.
That's what I'm saying, and that's a hard thing. So what? And I mean, you bring up a good point. So our topic today is about forgiveness. We focusing on Jeffrey Dahmer. He did a horrific thing, but there's other horrific things that have been done. Think about Osama bin Laden. He did that for his religion, for whatever he believed in. They call it Allah, but he believed in the same quote-unquote God that we believed in. They didn't believe in Jesus, but they believed in our overall God that we believe in.
But I don't think that
Saddam Hussein.
I don't think that's. Again, I don't think it's. I won't put that on their religion. You You know what I'm saying? I just think that was a crazy man using religion as a tactic, just like how
the slaves used to, the mass white people used to
the
do
white
it for
people did with the slaves. So
yeah.
they took a religion,
He manipulated
and they
it.
manipulated to get what they want out of it. So I wouldn't necessarily put that on him. So
not on him on the religion, but on
I won't put that on the religion, on what he did on the religion. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
I think he just manipulated to get it to do what he wanted to do. Is it? Let me ask a question: is anybody that wronged you that you haven't forgiven?
That I haven't forgiven. No,
So
because that's actually one of my problems.
So what, you don't forget somebody do you wrong they did to you?
No. That's my problem.
you
I'm
forgive?
I'm too forgiving.
Too forgiving?
I think so.
So in your so without putting your business out there, what's the thinking of that the worst thing that somebody ever did to you? All right, I give you time. You got time to think of that. I'm gonna ask you the same thing. The worst thing somebody ever did to you. Now, what I'm gonna ask you is, was it in retrospect? Is it really that serious? Because again, you know, not everybody who did something to them is really that serious. You have some people that did something really serious to people that you're asking a lot to forgive. So whatever that can pop to your head. Somebody did something.
No,
to you.
I mean, so the only thing that come to my head is probably in high school in 9th grade. It was a while back. It was
somebody beat you up.
no, no. I used to sell chips and juice.
They stole from you?
Can I finish the story?
My bad.
Y'all probably don't know this, but I used to sell chips and juices.
Yeah, we did not know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I used to sell chips and juice. I used to have a big black bag. I used to sell chips and juices. It was because it was me and this other guy. He's like, look, if I give you a certain amount, can you sell it? I give you a profit, whatever the case may be. It was almost like he was my pushing man, and I was like one of the street boys on the corner.
So he was the plug. And
I was whatever. So he gave me a big black bag, and I used to have to sell the chips and juices. So I used to go in the class, boom. I used to put it on the table. I like chips and juices. People used to come, get their money, boom, boom, exchange, whatever. So there's one person in 9th grade, when I was in 9th grade, he came and he got a chip. And then he like, how much for the chip? I like, oh, 50 cents. And then he like, man, I only got a quarter. And he flipped the quarter to me like that. And I caught it, and he tried to walk away. I was like, hey, you owe me a quarter. He said, man, I ain't got no quarter. Only got 25 cents for you, right? And then he was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And he walked away. I was like, hey, man, come on. So I walked to him. I like, you got to give me that quarter. And then the teacher saw it. And the teacher's like, hey, da-da-da, you know how much chips and juices, because the teacher was cool. He just let me come do it. He's like, you know how much chips is now when somebody's selling it in class. It ain't going to be like what it is. Because in the store, it's 25 cents. Yeah. But when it's in the classroom, because I'm selling it, it's 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, you know what it is. And then he's like, oh, no, whatever. And then he ended up giving me the other quarter. But for a long time, I ain't like him. But like
because he tried you.
Yeah, because he tried me, yeah. But I seen my junior and senior year, we became pretty close. Like, you know what I'm saying? We used to talk all the time. We used to do whatever the case.
Play football too?
He did for my 9th and 10th grade year. He didn't play junior and senior.
Y'all ever brought up he tried you?
Nah, we never bring that story up again.
For real?
Again, and then to this day, my Facebook friend and we interact, whatever. Like, no, but whatever. Like, but the reason why I say that is because that's just who. Like, I feel like that happens to me a lot. Like, a lot of people, like, I feel like other people will feel like tried, and I feel like, I don't know what it is. That I can't stay angry at somebody for a very long time. I don't know what it is. The only thing I've stayed angry at consistently is Florida State. Other than that, everybody I've forgiven. Like, you know what I mean? I always forgive you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I might be heated in the moment, and it may take me a while, but after a while, I'll be over it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be sometimes like me and Keiki would like we'll probably get in an argument, and I'll forget about it. I'll be like, hey, you wanna? I'm like, dang, no, wait.
Yeah.
We're arguing. You know what I mean? Like, I'll forget about that. You know?
Do she hold long? Do she hold it long?
Yeah, she can. I mean,
yeah, shit.
Wall whip. I mean,
Mel a whole month.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Bro. That's like, you know, women
I think that's just in our nature.
I be ready to go. I be ready to go out there, but she hold that whole month, bro.
And that's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm a regular nigga in the street. It's me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, that's my thing. I think I'm too forgiving, and
but I'll say too though, dog. Nobody ain't really Like, yeah, when my dog tried you, it'd have been different if he took your chip and swung on you and kept it pushing. You kind of won because you sold your product. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was hard to get, but you kind of won.
I'm just saying that's. I'll bring up another example. High school again. So
Damn, they were just trying you on high school, dog.
let me tell you.
Dang, they ain't know I was your brother, dog.
Let me tell you what happened this time. So it was 10th grade. And I don't know if you remember, you had a chain that was a football helmet.
Yeah, with the diamonds in it.
With the diamonds in it.
Yeah.
I used to wear it all the time. Everybody used to sweat it. Boom. But I was in wrestling practice, right? So I had this Iverson jersey. It was a white Iverson jersey. It said Iverson on the back and had number 3 on the front, but it was a football jersey. I don't know.
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
I don't know. I used to love that jersey, whatever the case may be. So me, all the wrestlers, we put our stuff in there. We went to run around the world, practice, run over the track. You know how you got to do in practice. We come back, boom, stuff gone. My stuff gone. Lemec's stuff gone. We wiped out. Somebody clearly came in and robbed us, right? Mm-hmm. So the word was that it was these 2 twins. God rest his soul. I think one of them passed away. But it was these 2 twins that did it, right? But there was a part of the wrestling team, but they didn't go to practice. They didn't go to practice that day. You know what I mean? They didn't practice with us. But real convenient that when the wrestling team coming out, that we leave the door open a little bit because Coach Smith watching us run around the world, and that you can go in there and people ain't putting their stuff in lockers. You can go in there and steal. So everybody thought it was them, whatever the case may be. And again, 3 years later, it's kind of cool with them.
Man, that's what my chain went at, dog.
Yeah,
bruh, that was a gift.
Oh, but yeah, that's what happened to that.
For real, dog. I was literally thinking. I said, bro, because I'm like, dang, I had 2 chains. I had 2 chains, and I don't know what I did with them. Like I don't even know. 3 things I lost. I lost that chain, another chain with a Jesus on it, and then my goals. My pullouts. I have pullouts. I don't even know.
I ain't responsible for the goals. I don't know.
I know you ain't had my gold, but I literally I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, dang, I had all this jewelry. I don't know. Like I can't for the life of me think what happened to him.
It's almost like you gave it to me because you was never wearing it. I wore it every day from 9th and 10th grade until that happened.
Yeah, because it was actually a gift from Melanie, not Mel. It was Melanie. She gave it to me, and went through that turbulence, so I ain't wear it anyway. My bad.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to. You said when somebody did something to me that I didn't. It was hard for me to forgive.
What if you saw those people that robbed you again?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
How would that go?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
What if you chilling and somebody telling a story like, boy, I remember when I was a shorty, I robbed these dudes on the bus stop.
You know the funny part was honestly, the night after it happened, the night or a couple of nights after it happened, we went to what's the thing called? Watch night. So watch night we was there, and me and Sheen, I'm sitting in the back. Everybody said Sheen was like, "Hey man, those boys who did such and who robbed us was in the church." I said, "You got to be kidding me!" And he was like, "Yeah, they was there." I don't know how he saw them because when they robbed us, they had on masks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, he might be listening, so you go carry on.
They had on masks, right? And he was like, "Oh yeah, they standing out in the lobby." I said, "You got to be kidding me!" So I got up. I don't know what I was gonna do. I got up and went outside, and I'm just looking at these dudes like, I don't know who they are anyway. But then I realized some of them was the people who went to the church. And I'm like, they can't be them. She was like, yeah. But I think after that part, everything went through my mind. I was like, I can't believe. First I had to get over shot. I can't believe these people did this to me. Made me take off my shirt, my shoes, took my chain, had a gun in my head, had a gun in my back, told me to pull out my wallet, took my wallet and threw it on the ground. All this stuff, I wasn't scared to die. I was more like, I can't believe they got me slipping, right? So then, after all that stuff happened on that day, I was like, you know what? I don't even feel bad about it no more. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm hearing the story, they telling me something like, hey, that sounds like those dudes who robbed me. I don't think I feel bad about that. Even when, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
I have nothing where
I don't. They probably did something to me. I always used to try to brush stuff off. Even with the previous girlfriend, I thought who I was truly in love. That's the first girl I brought around everybody. Y'all know that. Everybody else, we never used to bring around the house. And for her to break up with me, that hurt. That hurt. Now it took me a while. I say, to forgive, to the point where I was always cool. Like, I'm still always cool and everything with her, but it just took me a while to forgive. But I'm cool. Like, everybody, I probably...
Because she broke up dirty, though. It ain't like I just broke up with you, right?
Yeah.
You know,
like a dirty, right?
You know what? Something came to my mind. I don't want to talk about in specifics, but it's a certain person I haven't forgiven yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up.
And then we can't. And that's just because of the things I haven't witnessed it, but it's just the things that I've heard.
Yeah.
And so that, I think that's what the Lord is still working with me on.
Me too. That's
You know what I'm saying?
he close to on site. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that, I think that's the closest to non-forgiveness. No, actually, that's the only non-forgiveness that I have.
That's my only non-forgiveness. And
Are we wrong?
I'm trying to
so
work
we
on
hold
that.
resentment in our heart. Yeah, that's not. If we hold that type of resentment in our heart, so I wonder.
So
do you forgive Do you forgive yourself? Do you come to peace?
See, but you know what though? I'm to that thing since cause I haven't, you know what I'm saying, jumped out the window. I think God said, okay, you good, cause you should have jumped out the window. I didn't jump out the window, and I'm letting it be. The fact that I'm letting it be is good. Yeah. Now, I hate when people try me, because the reason why you say that. Do you remember when we was going to a game? It was me, you, and Mike. We was in the car, and you cut somebody off, cut this man in the van off, and he jumped out the side thing and jumped into me face and was like, "I'll blow this car up, boom, boom, boom." And me and Mike like this in the seat, like. A dog. We was what? High school, wasn't he?
I was. Yeah, we was. No,
you was out. We was in high school.
No, we was out because it was fresh out because what it was.
Oh yeah, we was just out of high school.
Just out of house, and
we were just out, but you was.
And
out.
when he said that, I said what? And I took my seatbelt off. I'm about to jump, and Tavares and we were like, no, chill.
Yeah, okay. I ain't gonna lie, buddy was older and he looked scary. He wasn't even driving the van. He pulled out the side. And the other dudes in the
like
van
one of those vans,
like,
like those jump out boys.
Yeah, the other dudes in the van were like, nah, man, told him like to chill. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew. I don't kill her.
Listen, I don't know what I was doing because I had nothing on me.
It's an automatic response.
Yeah, because that's the first. Because once he did that, I literally took my seatbelt off and I was about to do it. And Tavares is the one who was like, Tavares is like, we all know I'm the calm one. That was one of the first time he was actually the calm one. Is like, nah, don't do it. Let's keep it going.
Cause it was him. So that mean that whole van was crazy.
Yeah, that was going to go jump out on somebody else.
Not the driver. It's you. You were passing the van, jumping out, getting mad, bro. You ain't even the one who. So that means that everybody else in the van was gassing you up. Like, hey man, look at them boys try. Man, we should go woo woo woo. And he had a cut. So we already knew what time that was. We already knew that it was on.
Because your ghetto senses come on when it's a situation like that. You might have would have gone back and forth with like a white person. That when you see a van full of 7 dudes, you be like, hey man, just
because you understand now, them boy. Because if you telling me the driver yoked you off, the driver ain't the one getting out. It's somebody in the passenger. So that mean they was in that van gassing him up to stop me. I mean, once we stop him, you get out there and let him know. And then, you know what I'm saying? I think what it was, when they seen it was, we was kids, because we probably were like 19, 20. You know, you probably was 20. I probably was 19, you know, when it happened.
Oh, they was older.
Yeah, they was like 30-something.
Had to be like 30-something.
30-something. A group, it was like, about 5, 6 of them in a van.
It was a jump out van.
Yeah.
Like, they literally was like, they was finna go jump out on somebody.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Oh, for real?
Yes. Look, that's how it looked.
And that's what they was an all black.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we knew. And I think.
Y'all was coming from the mall?
No, we was going to the game.
We was going to the, matter of fact, the Soul Bowl. Yeah. We was going to Soul Bowl when they used to be at the Orange Bowl Stadium.
So we was going to go that and right on 27 when you get ready to go into the Palmetto Expressway. That's when they cut under the bridge and they cut us off. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they probably got, when they pulled us over, they can clearly see we was kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So in their head, they probably were like, man, we That's because they were like, they shorties, we ain't gonna, rock with them. You had some killers that had some sense of morality, like, damn, we ain't gonna rock with these little shorties. They just trying to, go to their game and have fun and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that, like, and it, even though ain't no we could do, like, I was kind of mad at them for a while, like I knew them. Cause I hate when you try me, dog, and it's like,
you know what? And just to give another example of a story, do you remember?
They getting you, bro.
No. You remember in this happened this year in April with TJ Flag game. You remember when the parent or the coach wanted to fight our coach?
Oh yeah, boy.
And for no reason, Tavares jumped in like, "Hey man, you got to step back. Get in the guy's face like you got to step back. You got to step back. You got whatever the case be." I was like, "Oh my God, now I got to fight." Because the coach wasn't mad. He wasn't mad at nobody but the other coach. But Tavares,
the coach, but he probably 5'3".
yeah.
Like
the coach was skinny, like
he 5'3". You clearly see dude be chilling, and then the dude that was talking was probably about 6 foot or a little bit under 6 foot. He was, gassing, and then you mad that he losing. Then you talk. The coach ain't saying nothing to you. You clearly see he don't want no pressure because he's small. He don't want no pressure with you. Like you act, nah, bro, you ain't gonna do that. Hey, he on our team now. Like technically he with me, so you ain't gonna be talking to him. So I jumped in, like, bro, there ain't gonna be none of that. And when he seen us like that, he kind of,
because we both was, because when Tavares went out, like,
down.
I was oh my
He
God,
gassed down.
I was like, hey bro, I was like, just go back on your sideline, just go over there. That's what we were saying. We're like, just go back over there. It's cool, whatever. The game over, whatever the case may be. But I bring that up to say, the following Tuesday, me and him spent 20 minutes talking to each other.
The same dude.
The same dude. We was on his gate. He was like, "Hey, what's going on?" Da da da. He said, "Man, your kid's fast. You should bring him to Miramar." Da da da. Like it was like nothing. Like Saturday didn't happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, to me, that's like the story of my life. Forgiveness. It's always been about forgiveness. I know some people who stop talking to their family members because of incidents, and I don't want to judge nobody. It's not my place to judge. I'm just saying, like, I think forgiveness is a gift that we can't ignore. You know what I'm saying? Because forgiveness is there so that you can continue on with life without having that weight or that pressure on you to where you're wasting time in your life, you wasting time in your life being miserable when you can be happy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know we always brag and we'll never fight or whatever the case may be. It's because I think all of us in the same thing, that we like forgiving people. Like, it's not that serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's my whole thing. I think forgiveness is a gift, and I believe in it. And I wouldn't be upset if I go to heaven and I see Jeffrey Dahmer there, because guess what? I'm in heaven.
You right.
Why am I be like, hold up, you know what, God? I am not going to stay here because Jeffrey Dahmer is here too.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in heaven. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple people, I assume, that are, or a lot of people.
Sketchy tails on earth, but up in heaven. Chill.
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he might have been truly a nice guy. He might have went through some trauma. The Lord saw it, and he's in heaven because he gave his life to the Lord. I'm not going to question Christianity or question the God or whatever the case may be. I'm like, because I'm in heaven. You know what I'm saying? So who cares? I don't care. I don't care who I see there.
And I'm going to tell you that too. Happy people generally don't have no problem with forgiving.
Yeah, right.
You have people telling you they happy, but when you generally happy, you happy for others. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you successful and got everything going, you rarely see, don't get me wrong, because there is outliers, but generally when you happy and you in your life and you successful, you doing the things you want to do, you're happy for other people. You're not mad, or somebody did something or something you feel like they should have paid for something. You generally, you might look at it, but you like, you don't care because you happy and successful in your life. It's usually be the people, I don't want to say miserable, because you can because I'm not gonna say miserable, because you can just have a certain part of your life you wish was better that can affect you, how you think and how you feel. Although you're pretty good in life, it might be just one thing that might not be working out for you. It might be a job or relationship, but everything else good, or something you wanted that you didn't get. You know what I'm saying? So you're not happy. So I wouldn't say miserable, but you generally, when you're in life, not feel like you don't have everything you want, you're generally not happy for other people. Yeah. You want to add it before anything? Because we can close out.
Or just that. When it comes to forgiveness, I know it's gonna be hard for others to do it. Just like Terran said, was that sometimes forgiving somebody takes it up the pressure off of you, right? I think the biggest thing is for us as individuals is being able to forgive ourselves, and that's what hurts us the most because of the things that we've done. We know, even I've noticed some people feel bad sometimes. Hey, I didn't ever told my person that I loved them before they passed away, so now I can't forgive myself. Or man, I should have hanged out with my mom or my dad a little bit more because we had that time, right? And I didn't forgive. So I think that us people need to stop dwelling on what we didn't do or what we should have done, and let's just move forward and say, from here on out, I'm going to make sure I make a best effort in my life to get to that point where I am happy and be able to tell people how you feel while they can. That's why I thought it was important for us when we do stuff is always tell each other about, I appreciate what you're doing, right? Because God forbid something happened away. I don't want to be like, man, I wish I should have told Tavares this. Man, I wish I could have told Turan this. Or man, I should have went out with mommy more often and stuff like that, whatever. You know what I mean? So because that's hard. But don't put that so much pressure on yourself because all of us mess up. All of us need time for someone to forgive us for one reason or another. Because once again, we're dealing with people and emotions, and it doesn't mean that. And there's some ways that we are going to mess up, right? We are going to mess up, so we just can't put that much pressure on ourselves as we're trying to get to that best person that we can.
Yeah, you're right, and I like what you said there. If you practice on forgiving other people, it makes it easier to forgive yourself. That's another thing. I'm easy to forgive other people, but sometimes I don't forgive myself.
Like how you moping out this defense, the game that we just on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm hard on myself when it comes to certain things.
And I think that's just for us because we know, right? For me, I've forgiven people literally 20 minutes after I'm upset with them. But there's some stuff that's been lingering with me for a long time. I still can't forgive myself with it. And I'm like, oh my God, Lord, I'm praying, please. I know in my mind, my heart, I generally know that God has forgiven me for whatever sins, what I permit.
I be mad at myself for forgiving people. I have moments where somebody pump fake me or somebody did something.
Felt like they tried you
I handle it
too passively. You think in your opinion.
Yeah, sometimes be like sometimes hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like what get me when I be mad at something else and then all my madness it flood through me like damn. You look at it, you did this, look at it like so. I do get that. Well, I should have.
That's a really good point.
And even
how to forgive yourself. Yeah.
Even when we going through this now, right? It's like some of the things I'm thinking about in coaching and stuff is like, I should forgive that. You know what I'm saying? So I should on Saturday, like you was talking about, one of the parents would keep coming at me. I have never done this before in my life. I literally turned around and addressed the man. It's like, listen, whatever. With the course of cancer, listen, I am putting your son in, with whatever it is, whatever the situation is. After I talked to whatever, the first thing I did was, hey, listen, I apologize if I came out wrong to you during that time, through that part. I told him, I said, listen, I apologize if I came out wrong, whatever. But at that point in time, I was in the game and I'm explaining to you, I have been putting in your son in the game. You want him to go more than what the necessary was. So we talked it out, whatever. And that was it. For me, it's like I had to remember that right then and there. Before I would have been like, man,
And I wonder if forgiving yourself helps you in being more consistent with the things that you want to do, right? Because we all are pretty down on ourselves for the way that we do, for example, health, right? Or like goals like that. So like the way that we eat. So we automatically say, I'm a bad eater. We get down on ourselves. So don't give us an opportunity to kind of overcome that and become a good eater. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you don't forgive yourself, it doesn't allow you to sort of take another step.
Move forward, yeah.
Move forward. I'm pretty sure if a psychologist or psychiatrist or someone watching the show, they probably agree with us, saying that in order for you to move forward, you got to forgive your past mistakes. It's easy to probably forgive other people, but the toughest thing is to forgive yourself. And probably to your point, Tavares, the reason why certain people act the way that they do or react the way that they do is because they know if they don't, they'll never forgive themselves because they'll stay up at night
man, I should have did it this way.
I should have punched
I
him in the
shoulda
face.
told that person.
I should have told him off. I should have do whatever because you can't forgive your act of kindness. So that's
And for me, just to end it out with y'all, but I just say forgiveness is for everybody. Right, you are never too down. Don't put yourself down. The person have never did. It's hard to forgive. Put it that way because of whatever somebody might do to you, killing somebody, your family member, or all these other stuff. Right, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But the hardest part, the thing for us to remember is forgiveness is the key in order for you to move forward in your life. We just have to keep that in mind, right? And you're forgiving that person not for them, but you're doing it for your own benefit because you want to move on. You don't want to keep dwelling on that person or that situation or whatnot. So I would advise you as much as you can, forgive, learn how to forgive, but then also start with forgiving yourself first so you'll be able to forgive other people through those lines. And remember, there's no number on how many times you're supposed to forgive somebody. Now, you're a fool if you keep going back to that person again for to keep messing up and over again. But for me, or like it says in the Bible, there's no certain amount of times I should be able to forgive somebody. Just be smart and wise.
Yeah, that's why my name's Tyrann and not Jesus.
I'll just end it on this. With forgiveness, like they tell you, you forgive, you don't forget. I think we make sure that's a fine line to walk because we're saying that we forgive them, but then when we see them, we don't talk to them. We catch an attitude with them. We doing something. So technically, you ain't forget them, either you say you did. Because you say you ain't forget, but you still treat them a certain way. So just being able to balance that between forgiving and forgetting, making sure that when somebody shows you something, not to continue to involve yourself in that person, so you continue to put yourself in a situation to be hurt. So with that being said, I'll just try your best. Again, if you don't forgive a person, just kind of work on it if you can. And I also understand if certain things that you feel like you cannot,
it's unforgivable.
Yeah. But just try to work past it to more so you forgiving them, but also knowing that you're forgiving yourself for putting yourself in that. For being in that situation that it's not your fault. That things happen and that you can still move forward past it. All right. That's the end of the episode. It's your boy Dean,
Tim,
Tyrann.
and it's another episode of the Dean's Office. Yo.